This is Henry Dunant, and in 1859, Henry made one of the most significant business trips in history. He traveled to this small town in northern Italy, Solferino. It was here that Dunant wanted to meet the Emperor of France, Napoleon III, to ask him for his favor with his business in Algeria. But why was the Emperor of France in northern Italy? To fight a battle, of course. Napoleon III had led his army of nearly 150,000 soldiers onto a field outside of this tiny town to fight the Austrians, who also had an army of around 150,000. Yes, Henry Dunant's plan was to walk up to the Emperor of France as he was in the middle of commanding an army in one of the biggest battles of the 19th century, which, fun fact, was also the last battle in Europe to be personally led by the monarchs of each country. However, upon arrival, Henry Dunant was horrified. After one day of fighting, 40,000 soldiers were killed or wounded. There were bodies everywhere, and thousands of soldiers were left to suffer in the fields and streets, begging for help, and shockingly, there was no one to help. Henry forgot all about his business trip and began helping as many soldiers as he could. Henry would be so moved by the sight of so many dead and wounded soldiers that he called for change. He wrote a book called A Memory of Solferino and explained his vision of nations coming together to form an organization that would care for the wounded on battlefields. 5 years later, his book would lead to the Geneva Conventions and the creation of the International Red Cross.